Alright, I'm at another cool place. I had to stop here. Upon leaving the parts store. But where we are at, this used to be the Mr. Gatti's. Right here. Let me get a good far up view here. Just a concrete slab now. But I do remember more about this place than I did at the truck stop that I was at. But this was the door that you'd went in. And of course they had a rail that you'd walked around right here. There was a wall here. I don't know what they had behind it. But right here was the actual counter. And you'd walked up and you'd paid right here. Then you stepped down here is where you got your tray. They had their tray stacked up here. And they had some other kind of like little bar right here. And you walk around and you see this dark spot of the concrete right here. And they had a few chairs. I think there was a couple of booths. I can't remember. Okay. But of course the main food line was along through where this tile's at. Let me walk on this other side around away from the sun. Here we go. Now you can see kind of like this diagonal line. This is where you would walk down, where they'd have their different their pizza buffet laid out. And of course, you'd walk around, and it was kind of diagonal. They left some of the tile. Most of the place had this white tile. Probably asbestos. And of course you'd walk down here, and here was a restroom. I don't know if this was, I can't remember if this is the men's or the women's restroom, but it was kind of a hallway. This was a wall that was built up here. It seemed to be best I remember, the door didn't go all the way up to the ceiling, and there was just a sign there, it just said restrooms. But anyway, this was one of the restrooms. And here was another restroom. I'm thinking, I'm not sure, I think this was the women's restroom right here where I'm standing. And this was the men's restroom. They weren't small. That would really make sense. That would make sense that a urinal would be close, like right here, and would have just one toilet, where the women's restroom would have two. Yeah, I believe that's what it is, actually. And then, of course, there was a hallway, and that kind of went down into like their game room area, right in here. I had never been into the game room area, so I can't really remember what it looked like. But then, of course, they had this wall here, and along in here was the entire dining area. Later, they built on, and they had this kind of like this half wall that was built up and had some kind of like rails or something along to it, and this was the rest of the dining area in here. And this is fact, we would come back here, friends of mine and I, we would always sit back here in this corner here for some reason. I don't know, just the way it happened to work out all the time anyway. Yeah, here, this was like an emergency exit or something, because I don't remember anyone ever walking out. This side of the building had no windows on it, which was kind of weird because it faces the road right here. There was no windows. green and yellow funky looking carpet in it, and the rest of it had tile. I can't remember what exactly it looked like. Seemed to me like this was also part of a dining area, or part of the game room or something. I don't remember exactly what it was. And of course, last but not least, we're going to walk back up into the kitchen. Oh yeah, here's the tile that the main part had on it. Just a regular commercial tile, your thick tile. Which is kind of weird. This must have been like where a fridge or a stove would have been, because it's got the ceramic tile here, while the rest of it has your, I don't know, asbestos tile. No, this wouldn't be asbestos tile. It wouldn't be here. Fiberglass tile or asphalt tile is what this would be. But this was the kitchen. Of course, it was always like right up here by the door, so that was the first thing you hear, all the noises from the kitchen going on as soon as you walked in. And of course, there's part of the grease trap. 2007, I think, Mr. Gatti's moved across the road over here. And when it did, it left this place empty. There was something else. There was another pizzeria that moved in here, but it didn't stay open just a few months. Then it closed up, and shortly after that, the building was razed. But anyway, I can still remember walking down this line. And of course, their soda machine. Best I remember, their soda machine was like right here. And of course, once you've got your drink, you would just walk back here to your dinner area. And this was right here where I'm walking was the walkway. And you can see right here where this was the original side of the building. Yeah, there was columns that they'd had finished up. Going through this so you wouldn't see the metal framing. Okay, I just thought that I would show you that. The old Mr. Gatti's, which has been raised. I think they raised it in 2008, maybe. Okay, well, I'm going to take a couple of stills. And that will just about wrap up for here. And I'm going to get home and put a voltage regulator on and an alternator. Okay, thanks for watching.